Right now at 5, defending their response, authorities in Texas struggle to explain why the gunman was in the school for nearly an hour before anyone confronted him. They now say no school security officer confronted the shooter, despite what investigators had said earlier. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. I'm Tracy Davidson.
And I'm Jim Rosenfield. So we know the shooter killed those 19 children and the 2 teachers in the last hour. The White House announced that President Biden will travel to Uvalde this weekend to mourn with the community there. Our team coverage on the deadly school shooting in Texas continues this evening. We will talk about the renewed debate over gun laws, how it could affect Pennsylvania's Senate race as well. But first, let's begin with Miguel Martinez-Valle, live from Uvalde. Miguel, you've told us about a steady stream of people now paying tribute to the victims, and we see those crosses behind you outside the school, too.
Yeah, and it's been happening all day. We were over at Robb Elementary School, the site of the attack, and there were people coming in droves, bringing in flowers, people from the community, people from San Antonio and neighboring towns. They wanted to pay their respects. Behind me, though, what we're seeing right now is little kids, children, classmates, friends that lost their friends and their loved ones in this classroom. We just spoke to a mom who brought her daughter over. They were on gymnastics together with one of the girls, McKenna. You see her cross back there, and so she really wanted to come and leave flowers for her friend, wrote a note. I talked to another little girl who wrote, "You're a great soccer player" on her friend's cross, because that's their relationship. They played soccer together, and this is really showing us how small, how tight-knit this community is, because everybody here knows somebody. Everybody here was touched by this tragedy, and people, of course, they're mourning, but they also want answers. There's also frustration about the lack of information. Parents outside Robb Elementary desperate to know what's happening inside Tuesday. Now questions about the police response to the chaotic scene.
And it's under investigation. There's a lot of unanswered questions.
We do know more about what happened in those few horrific minutes. A law enforcement source says this brief clip shows the gunman running into the school. Officials say the gunman locked himself in a classroom and started shooting. He was eventually killed by authorities.
It appears it was unlocked. So we're going to look at that and try to corroborate that as best as we can.
11-year-old Mia Cerillo was in that classroom.
Mia got some blood and put it on herself, but she couldn't pretend that she was dead. Someone said that. She saw her friend full of blood, and she got blood and put it on herself.
19 children and 2 teachers lost their lives. Each one has a story, including Elena Torres, who loves softball, and McKenna Lielrod, said to have a smile that would light up a room. Their teachers, Irma Garcia and Eva Moreles, died trying to protect their students.
We just need a lot of prayer. We just need to support the families that have casualties. They're suffering.
And that suffering seems endless. Again, here you see parents coming with their children, all of these kids around the same age as some of those victims that died in the tragedy, in the shooting. All of these kids coming, finding their friends' names, and putting down flowers, writing notes, leaving messages. So obviously parents tell me that the struggle is going to be explaining this and continuing to explain this a week down the road, a month down the road, when they ask, when is my friend coming back? That's the hardest conversation that these parents are having. I'll send it back to you. I'm Miguel Martinez-Valle, NBC 10.